Ma'am, please start.
Okay, a very good afternoon to all my dear participants. Today we have with us respected Dr. Sanjeev Kumar, uh, Professor and Head Dairy Technology Department at Sanjay Gandhi Institute of Dairy Technology, Bihar Animal Sciences University, Patna. On behalf of organizing committee members, sir, I welcome you and thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation. Dr. Sanjeev Kumar is having over 23 years of experience in teaching, research, extension, and administration work. He is presently Professor and Head of Dairy Technology Division at Sanjay Gandhi Institute of Dairy Technology, Bihar Animal Sciences University, Patna. He obtained postgraduate degree in Dairy Technology from Allahabad Agriculture University, Allahabad, and subsequently earned his doctoral degree from ICR and Dairy Karnal. Dr. Sanjeev Kumar started his professional career as a research associate under ICR funded network project on R&D support for process upgradation of indigenous milk product at NDRA Karnal in 2000 to 2001. He later joined Rajendra Agriculture University Pusa to serve as a junior scientist and officer in charge at KVK Baka. Dr. Sanjeev Kumar took up academic research and extension responsibility when he was offered the position of assistant professor in Dairy Technology Division at the Sanjay Gandhi Institute of Dairy Technology. In 2008, he also worked as program coordinator and senior scientist cum head for KVK Nalanda under Bihar Agriculture University, Sabor. Dr. Kumar has been mainly working in the area of cheese, traditional dairy product, and functional foods. Dr. Kumar also guided several master students. Dr. Sanjeev has published more than 80 research papers, review papers, and book chapters. He has presented his research paper in more than 35 national and international conferences, and he has published several manuals in the area of his expertise. He has to credit a process patent on feta cheese from buffalo milk using macrobal rennet. During his tenure as administrative head, he was conferred ICR Best KVK Award by ICR. He also awarded for Best Extension Scientist Award in the same year. He is also recipient of Young Scientist Award of All India Veterinary Public Health Association. He is also IDA Fellow Award. He also received IDA Fellow Award in 2023, and he is also Associate Fellow of National Academy of Dairy Sciences India and Fellow of Sure Varanasi. With this word, I welcome you, sir. Now over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Anuradha, for introducing me. Now comes into the topics. Cheese, you already know that what is cheese. Cheese actually derived from the Latin word that is Asius. The other word like in Urdu, it is also known as cheese. And cheese means that is correct thing or perfect thing. Cheese meaning is almost correct and perfect things, and it is the highly diversified products, and it is suited for almost all age groups, and it is also considered as a biotechnological product because we are using enzymes as a enzymes and starter culture in the manufacture of numerous variety of cheese, and it is also one of the best way for conserving the milk solids in better way. So far as nutritional aspect is concerned, you already know that particularly we are talking about the ripened variety of cheese. Cheese is always having pre-digested milk proteins, which is easily assimilable, so that is easily absorbed in our body, and it is also considered as a rich source of calcium and phosphorus because concentrated form of calcium and phosphorus is present in any variety of cheese. And it is also because when we talking about ripened variety of cheese, because they have having different groups we are later discuss on, which is also rich source of fat soluble vitamin A, D, E, K, and it is also one of the best food for the lactose intolerance because most of the lactose goes with the whey. That is why it is very much suited for the lactose people, and it is also suited for the diabetic people also because lactose, the milk sugar, goes with the whey during the manufacture of cheese. When we talking about the caloric value of the cheese, we are cheddar cheese, which is #1 production throughout the world. So caloric value of cheddar cheese giving about 400 kilocalorie per 100 gram of cheese. But when we're talking about other variety of cheese like mozzarella, that is giving around 230 kilocalorie per 100 gram of cheese. So it is depends upon the variety of cheese. Now we can see here that cheese contains almost 25% protein, and which is actually, when we compare the 1 kg of cheddar cheese to any of the food items, that is equivalent to 10 liters of milk, and it is equivalent to 30 kg of egg, 30 eggs, and 1 to 1.5 to 2 kg of meat, and 2 to 3 kg of fish, and 80 to 20 kg of cabbage. So cheese is consumed in different ways. You can consume just after manufacture of cheese, that is green cheese. You can also consume a ripened variety of cheese in form of processed cheese spreads. You can also use cheese dips. Generally, in pizza outlet, we are using cheese dips, and also there are several types of fermented foods. We are using cheese in the bakery products also, and it is also the base material for the pizza. And it is very much preferred, particularly by the Western people. When we see the medicinal and therapeutic value, it is anti-carcinogenic and it is anti-carcinogenic, and it is also anti-karyogenic, and it is also probiotic and anti-allergic. So this is all attributes is actually present in the cheese. That is why it is considered as a perfect food, or that is called best food. So now comes to the what is the status of cheese throughout the world. We can see here that about total milk production, about 40% of the milk is being used for the manufacture of cheese, and about more than 50% of cheese is being manufactured by European Union and USA. So when we see the census of 2021, the total world production of cheese was only just 21.86 metric million tons. So we can see here that the United States of America is the largest producer of the world, followed by Germany, and third is actually France. So cheese is actually totally actually manufactured. Almost more than 95% of cheese is being manufactured by the Western world. When we see the scenario of the different cheese production throughout the world, we can see here that there is a steady growth of cheese in the world market. Here we can see, already we have discussed, is that USA is the #1 production of cheese, followed by Germany, then France and Italy. India having contribution was just only 2,250 metric million ton, which is very less when we compare with the Western world. Similarly, we are also here see that USA is the #1 manufacturer of the cheese, but exporter Germany is the total volume of cheese. About 14.5% of total world cheese is being captured by Germany, followed by France, then Netherlands, Italy, then USA. And India contribution in export is just only 0.1%. You can see here there is a great scope. Here we can use our milk in different cheese variety, and we can also capture the we can also improve the share of the cheese market in international market. So we can see here in India only 4 variety of cheese. We can say cheddar, generally used for processed cheese manufacture. You already know Swiss cheese, emmental cheese, and mozzarella. The mozzarella cheese growth rate is very high in India, that is growing at the rate of 4.5%. And in our country, only less than 1% of total milk production is being used for the cheese manufacturers, and that is the first marketed under Amul in 1970. So when we see the growth potential of the cheese, we can see here that the growth of cheese is very high, but we can see here that total market of cheese is actually totally dominated by processed cheese. In processed cheese, that is processed cheese food, processed cheese spread, and their market share is more than 60%. And about Amul is the only player which is having captured the market almost 65%, followed by Britannia having share about 25%. Recently, Amul has also introduced low-calorie cheese. We are because day by day people are health conscious, so they are looking for the low-calorie cheese like low-fat cheese and slim cheese. You can say cottage cheese is also best example of that category. And processed cheese, we are actually uh, contributes about 2,000 tons a year, and which is share of Amul is more than 75%. So cheese market in India is growing day by day, and these are the different brands which is generally different level of different trade name of trade variety of cheese available in the India. You can already hear the name of Amul, Britannia, Mother Cheese, Go Cheese, Verka, and their other partners are also, but they are actually their capture of market is mostly by Amul and Britannia. The definition, when we see the definition of cheese, because cheese is the only type of milk product which is having different method of manufacture for different, about 2,000 variety of cheese is actually available in the world market, but only there is a slight difference in method of manufacture, that difference is changed. So but we are actually just here mention about the regulatory body, because FSSI जो है, that is actually regulatory body. So according to that, we have to actually define, they have actually defined the cheese. So we have follow the guidelines of the FSSI. That means cheese is ripened or unripened, soft, semi-soft, hard, extra hard product, which is may be coated with the food grade waxes, polyfilm, and in which the whey protein casein ratio does not exist that of the milk. So we are actually, when we are adjusting the casein fat ratio, so it is also mentioned in FSSI also. Cheese is also obtained by coagulating wholly or partly milk or products obtained from milk through the action of non-eliminate or other suitable coagulating agents by partially draining of whey resulting from coagulation and or processing technique that involves coagulation of milk or product obtained from milk, which gives a final product with similar physical, chemical, and organoleptic characteristics. So the product may contain a starter culture of harmless lactic acid and or flavor producing bacteria and culture of other harmless microorganisms, which is safe and suitable enzymes, and also calcium chloride is also being used. So it may be used, or I have already told you, different forms of cheese is actually consumed. So according to FSSI, it may be used, maybe in the form of blocks, sliced, cut, shredded, or grated cheese. Now comes into the classification of the cheese. The classification, when we see here, that they are broadly classified into two categories, that is natural cheeses and miscellaneous cheeses. Under the natural cheeses, we are categorized in three categories: bacterial ripened cheese. Under that category also, they are categorized in four categories, that is very hard, semi-hard, and soft variety of cheese. So here we see very hard cheese, that is Parmesan cheese, Romano cheese, which is the highest low moisture content in the cheese, and it is actually popular in Italy. Similarly, under the hard variety, we having two types: with eye and without eye. With eye, you already know, Swiss cheese, Emmental cheese is the example. Without eyes, cheddar cheese or Cheshire cheese, both are examples. Similarly, semi-hard. You can see here semi-hard, or that is another way, it is also known as semi-soft. That is also categorized into two categories, that is internally ripened cheese and surface ripened cheese. Under the internal ripened cheese, Gouda cheese or Edam cheese, both are very much popular under this category. Surface ripened cheese, that is Greek cheese, which is also comes under the category of semi-hard cheese. Similarly, soft cheese, we are Cambridge cheese, which is very much popular. Similarly, other mold ripened cheese. So this is also categorized into two categories: semi-hard or semi-soft cheese or soft cheese. Semi-hard, semi-soft may internally ripened cheese, that is blue cheese or Roquefort cheese is example under this category. And under the soft category, which is surface ripened cheese, Camembert cheese, and Neufchâtel cheese. Both are very much popular. Similarly, unripened cheese. So unripened cheese means that is the cheese that is not required any ripening condition to get the characteristic flavor in the cheese. So unripened cheese, that is, there is no need of any ripening. So in under this category, mozzarella, that is the most popular variety. Similarly, cottage cheese, cream cheese, and ricotta cheese. Mozzarella, you already know, origin of mozzarella is Italy. Ricotta also belongs to Italy. Cream cheese, USA ka. Cottage cheese, USA ka. So USA. So similarly, in under white branches, that is white branches miscellaneous, under the miscellaneous cheeses, we are talking about white branches. Under this category, feta cheese, Italian cheese is example, which is origin of Greek. Whey cheese, that is Mysore cheese, and ricotta cheese, both are also from belongs to the Italy, and processed cheese. And just processed cheese, we are talking that different level, different age group of ripened variety of cheese is being heated and heated along with the emulsifier and stabilizer to get the different characteristics, and that is being very much preferred by the Indians due to the prefer slight acidic taste in comparison to the cheeses, the hard variety of cheese, that is very less likeness among the Indians. When we see the legal standard of cheese, we are categorized into different categories. That is hard cheese, very hard cheese, soft cheese, and under the extra hard cheese, we can see here under the extra hard cheese, we have already given example of Parmesan cheese, Romano cheese, that having moisture not more than 36%, fat not less than 32% of the milk fat on dry basis. Similarly, when we talking about hard cheese, that is under this category, cheddar cheese, very much so moisture not more than 39% and fat not less than 48%. Similarly, we are talking other variety of cheese, that's ripened cheese, unripened cheese, that is mozzarella cheese, that having not more than 60% moisture and milk fat not less than 35%. And pizza cheese, that is used, that is manufactured by utilization of mozzarella cheese. It is also moisture not more than 24%, but fat percent not less than 35%. So these are the legal standards we have to follow. If we have marketed this different category of product, then you have to meet the legal requirement of the FSSI or even the Codex Alimentary Commission when you're going to export the cheese in the international market. So processed cheese we have already know that is actually made from one or several cooked or uncooked fresh cheeses that are remelted and to which milk, cream or butter is being added that keep for a long time, and depending upon the product, stabilizer, emulsifier, salt, colors, sweeteners and seasonings are added to to improve the acceptability among the consumers. So that is being used due to we can actually improve the shelf life of the cheese. So this is also one of the means by which we can actually increase the shelf life of the cheese. Now, when we see the technological aspect of the ripened variety of cheese, so first of all, we are using milk. The selection of criteria of milk is different from the other products. Similarly, different pre-treatments like we are go depending upon the facility of the plant. We can go for bacteriophagation. We can go for immediate chilling of the milk to check the growth of the psychotrophs and to check the to reduce the to minimize the defects of the cheese. Similarly, we are using bacteriophagation and we can also using macrofiltration, and these are the different pre-treatments we are actually. You can also go for the ultrafiltration. So these are the methods by which we are actually applying to minimize the bacterial load in the milk, and we can get the best quality of the cheese. Similarly, we are sterilizing the milk. Generally, in case of cow milk, we are adjusting the casein fat ratio 0.7%, whereas in case of buffalo milk, generally we are recommending the sterilization of buffalo milk casein ratio 0.68. Similarly, then after selection and pre-treatment, we are sterilizing the milk, we can go for the acidification. So you already know different starter culture, what is the role of a starter culture, you already know the what is the role of a starter in the cheese making. Similarly, when in some variety of cheese, the colors, suppose in case of even feta cheese, that is normally characteristic white in color. But when we prepare from cow milk then the color becomes yellow. So sometimes to get more acceptability among the consumer, we are actually bleach the yellow bleach the bleach the yellow color cheese, and we can get the white to get the white color. So similarly, suppose we are also using color, another color is actually used. Similarly, calcium chloride. Generally, in case of buffalo milk, when we heat the milk, then some of the calcium is actually precipitated, and that calcium level is not actually optimum, and calcium level or is not optimal for the better coagulation of the rennet. So, in case of cow milk, generally we are recommending the addition of calcium chloride at the rate of 0.02%, whereas in case of buffalo milk, we are not advocating the addition of calcium chloride because our buffalo milk is rich in calcium, and somewhat they are actually most of the buffalo milk present in the colloidal form. Most of the protein, 80 more than around 80% of protein is actually exist in colloidal form, remaining 20% soluble form. So when we somewhat precipitate, somewhat soluble. So in case of buffalo milk, there is no addition of calcium chloride. So then we can go for the rennet. Rennet, generally we are use calf rennet, but now we are using bacterial rennet, and also different other some microbial based rennet is also available in the market, and we are using that. And even in some cases, we are also using the plant sources. Some plant sources rennet is also being used, but the limit is very less. So after that, we are coagulating, and other method depending upon different variety of cheese. We are suppose acidification, then special operations that like cheddaring. Cheddaring is one of the process that is not required in all variety of cheese, but in case of cheddar cheese, in mozzarella cheese, and we are go for the special operation. Similarly, salting, molding, pressing, it is required in almost all variety of cheese. So after this process, we are actually getting the cheese that is called green cheese, and that green cheese is actually kept under the controlled relative humidity and temperature to initiate the several biochemical changes, that is glycolysis, proteolysis, and lipolysis. So we can get the different flavor of the cheese. So we have already told you that in selection of milk, what are the criteria for selection of milk. Suppose you are preparing the special variety of cheese like Roquefort cheese and feta cheese and Romano cheese. So these are actually best suited milk is sheep milk. So you can select the milk according to the cheese. Similarly, there are several type of inhibitory compounds actually available in the milks. So we have also how we can actually minimize the different antimicrobial compounds. You have already know that different antimicrobial compounds exist in the milk. Besides that, lactinin 1, lactinin 2, both are actually present, but they all are activated when we keep the temperatures 70 degrees centigrade for 20 minutes. Similarly, to get the best quality cheese, we have to immediate chill the milk at the reception docks so that we can get the best quality cheese. Similarly, we can go for the sterilization of cheese. We have already discussed. Generally, we are advocating the casein fat ratio 0.7% for manufactured good quality cheese. But in case of buffalo milk, we can definitely change the casein fat ratio. Generally, 0.068 say 0.069. That is more preferred. Similarly, heat treatment, we already know that we are definitely gets full flavor when we use raw milk in comparison to the pasteurized milk. But when we see the legal requirement, then the legal agency always advocating the utilization of the pasteurized milk. So one of the other heat treatment we are generally providing in the cheese industry, that is thermization. So thermization, we are generally conducting a 65 degree centigrade for 15 minutes. So the objective of this thermization is just to control the psychotrops. So immediate thermization of milk, which helps in control the psychotrops, and we can actually overcome the defects which may be arise due to the cyclotron. So this way we can also improving the keeping quality of the cheese. Similarly, we can use acidification in case of different, depending upon different variety of cheese. Suppose we are go for the mozzarella cheese, definitely we are also using, besides starter culture, you can also use some direct acids even you can use concasto 4, pelargonic acid, alpha lactones. So even feta and cottage cheese, we are actually also use direct acid instead of starter cultures. Similarly, we are coagulating the milk. This is also we are coagulating the milk at acidified the milk to pH 4.6. But in some other variety of this like mozzarella, we are actually acidified the milk to 5.2. So these are different depend upon different variety of cheese. We can actually apply the different level of coagulation and different temperature also. And you already know the renin, that is the rennet is actually comprising two enzymes, renin and pepsin. And renin is very extremely powerful clotting enzymes. You can know that one part of pure renin cannot clot more than 500 million parts. Can clot more than 5 million parts of milk. So optimal level of action of rennet is 5.4. And pepsin, you already similarly, rennet is generally now we are not using in our country the total ban of use of alphanet. So we are almost all the cheese which is manufactured in India is by using microbial sources, that is butyrinet, that is being used in two brand name Henles and Henles and another one is Promes. Both are being used. And under the when we use Litorinate, that is the M-Pusillas lindid, we can use this is in powder form at the rate of 1.25 to 1.65 gram per 100 liter of milk. That also depends upon the type of milk. Suppose when we are use cow milk, then we can use Linate at the rate of 1 gram per 100 liter of milk. But when we use buffalo milk, then we can use the slightly higher concentration of the miturinate, that is 1.5 gram per 100 liter of milk. So this is we are already what is the renal population happens. First of all, calcium calcinate is actually present in calcium and calcinate form, and the first after renal action, they change to paracalcium, and that combined with the calcium ion present in the milk to form a insoluble curd. Similarly, a small amount of addition of calcium chloride helps in restore of calcium ion balance, which permit the normal functioning of the renal. But it is only suited in the case of common. We are not talking the addition of the calcium chloride in case of buffalo milk. Similarly, cutting the coagulum. So cutting the coagulum, the coagulum is ready to cut just after 25 minutes, depending upon the type of cheese. We can see the when we have to cut. Then when we see the green way at the base, then we can recommend the cutting of the cheese. That means the cheese is ready for the cut. So when we cheese, that curd is actually cutting into both types, horizontal and as well as verticals. And a surface acting material like phospholipid and whey protein accumulate on the surface of the cheese and form a thin osmotic membranes. So this membrane actually controls the whey expansion during the cooking. So this way, the surface active material has also helps in expansion control expansion of the whey during the cooking. We are cooking. We already know why cooking is done. Cooking is done to just to shrink the curd, to expel moisture from the cheese and to get the firm curd, है ना, firm texture formation, and the curd is available for the pressing and salting. So in case of high acid cheese, we are actually lose calcium up to 99 92%, है ना, than the low acid curd. Similarly, we also allow different cut treatments. We have already told you that in case of brick cheese, we are using culture along with the brevibacterium, है ना, as a secondary starter culture to get the characteristics of the flavor of the cheese. Similarly, when we go for the Swiss cheese, then definitely we can the curd treatment is different because the Swiss cheese curd is separated by placing a cloth under a curd and lifting it out of the vat or kettle. Similarly, cream cheese we are also prepared by placing the curd on cloth, which allow the way to drain away. So pressing, we have pressing, that is also one of the step in almost all weapon variety of cheese. So when we talking about cheddar cheese, the cheddar cheese based under the vacuum of 85 to 95 kilonewton meter squares, and you can press the cheese up to 2 to 3 days in order to get the full texture or get the full firm body which is generally required. Similarly, in case of treatment of it, several variety of cheese like Parmesan cheese or Romano cheese, there is a formation of rind is required. Similarly, Gorgonzola cheese, that is actually unique. That is actually coated with the plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris as a protective coat inside a woven basket. Similarly, you feta and cream cheese, that is actually packed in a drum fitted with the brine or salt plate. Similarly, we are talking about Cambridge cheese and Roquefort cheese. The growth we are using a starter culture along with the mold. To get the characteristics flavor of Cambridge and Roquefort cheese. Similarly, salting, we already know that salt is very much important, particularly in case of cheese, and we have using the salt level 0.5 to 3%. And different method, there is a very different method of techniques is being used in the cheese industry. You can use mixing of dry salt crystal with subdivided cheese curd prior to molding or pressing of manufacture. Or you can immerse the molded cheese in a brine solution, or you can apply dry salt or salt slurry to the surface of form cheese. That is green cheese. That's three way we can use salt, and you already know that that is also used as a food preservative. So similar after completion of this process, then we can ripen the green cheese is actually kept for ripening, and you can also apply two type according to the availability or according to the facility at the plant. We can opt either cold cooling or warm cooling. So cold cooling is generally preferred, and they are being then generally we can keep the cheddar cheese at 25% relative humidity, and we can keep at keep up to 12 months in order to get the full flavor in the cheese. So quality of cheese in this category is wine flavor, minimize bacterial defects. Whereas when we use warm cooling, definitely we can maintain the temperature 10 to 16 degrees 60 centigrade with the relative humidity 85%. But in case of definitely we can reduce the wrapping duration, but in case of this we can getting the sharp flavor, but we are facing maximum bacterial defects. So this is the drawback of warm cooling. So in case of the cheese industry, we are generally adopting cold cooling for ripening of cheese. So these are the some ripening variety of cheese. We have already told about cheddar cheese, the method of manufactures. Similarly, Parmesan cheese, that is the most of the method of manufacture is almost same, but there is a slight differences in the method of manufacture of Parmesan cheese. Here we are using definitely we are using starter culture, but here there is some difference because here we are also coating the ripened cheese with the edible oil. Generally, olive oil is used, and after that we can store the cheese at 5 to 10 degrees centigrade for 2 to 4 hours. So this is a slight difference in method of manufacture. In case of Parmesan cheese, that is very This is the example of very hard cheese, and we can get the full flavor up to 2 years. Similarly, blue cheese, or you can Roquefort cheese. Here we are see that in addition to a starter culture, we are using also secondary culture. That is Penicillium roqueforti. We are using that makes the cheese that starter culture. No doubt, the starter culture helps in acid development, and that acid development is helps in proper innating action, and it is also being helpful in ripening also. But addition of Penicillium roqueforti gives the peculiar or some different characteristics of this cheese. And this cheese is also ripened in two categories. We can keep this cheese in a ripening under aerobic condition also and anaerobic condition also. So this is the unique variety, unique cheese in which we are opting ripening either in aerobic or also in anaerobic. So under the blue cheese, this is similarly camembert cheese. Here we can also using the secondary culture along with the starter culture, and here we can use starter molds. That is Penicillium camberti. We can use along with the, and their method of manufacture is uh, almost similar to the brick cheese. You can say this is also an example of brick cheese in which we are using the starter culture along with the repeat spinning with the gravy bacterium. Linus, we can repeat smearing with the gravy bacterium, that is secondary flora. We are using this one along with the starter culture. So this is the method of manufacture, and we can get the full flavor of brick cheese in 6 weeks. So this is the method of manufacture of brick cheese. Similarly, Gouda cheese, that is the semi-soft variety of semi-soft or semi-hard variety of cheese. So here we can also see that the ripening condition, there is no cheddaring in case of Gouda and Edam. So here we are just wrapping the cheese up to and keep it in the wrapping room at 4 degrees centigrade, 14 degrees centigrade up to 4 weeks. So within a short period, within a 2 month, or we can get the full flavor. Similarly, Swiss cheese, we have already, that is very much popular in Switzerland, and we are also using two type. Here we are, because a statistic eye formation is required, so cheese blocks are keep in the ripening keep in the keep at a temperature, keep in the ripening room at temperature 22 24 degrees centigrade for 4 to 6 to 8 weeks, and then when we can get the characteristics flavor or aroma or texture in the Swiss cheese. Now comes into the problems, because India is having the contribution of buffalo milk is more than 55%, but we are facing challenges in manufacture of cheddar cheese or any other variety of cheese when we prepare from the buffalo milk. Only buffalo milk is best suited for the mozzarella cheese. So what are the challenges we are facing, particularly when we are prepare buffalo milk for the cheddar cheese or any other variety of cheese? That is the buffalo milk having the slow development of acidity because of higher buffering capacity of the buffalo milk due to the presence of high content of calcium minerals, and caseins. And that is one of the drawback is that faster innating times, which makes the cheese bitter in taste. Similarly, when we prepare buffalo milk, then the moisture retention is uh, very low, and we get the hard and the crumbly, we can say, very hard body, and which is actually not actually sufficient moisture available in the cheese curd, which may lead to the proper biochemical changes like glycolysis, proteolysis, lipolysis. So which makes the cheese which may be spoiled. When we, as such, when we go for use buffalo milk for cheese making, definitely whole of the lot may be spoiled. So another problem I already told you, due to low retention of moisture, there is a slower prophylaxis and lipolysis and slower flavor development in the cheese, and we can never get the uh, uh, flavor of flat flavor in the buffalo milk cheese, and the body and texture is also hard and crumbly, which is not desirable in the case of any variety of cheese. So these are the different methods by which we can improve the moisture retention in cheese. Different workers have using different methods to use buffalo milk for the manufacture of cheddar cheese. Some approaches mentioned here, like admixing of raw milk when we maintain the condition 29%. Another one is admixing of sweet cream buttermilk. Then other technique is also some additives like sodium citrate, pectin, hydrogen peroxide, catalyst. These are also certain condition we may apply, and when we can use buffalo milk, and we can get the almost similar type of characteristics what we are getting from the cow milk. Similarly, in case of buffalo milk, we have already also using homogenization to improve the moisture retention in the cheese curd, and generally we are using the pressure homogenization pressure uh, up to 25 kg per centimeter square. And we already know heat treatment, that is also one of the methods by which we can actually improve the moisture retention in the cheese. So when you are already know that in case of cheddar cheese, when you use buffalo cow milk, then the milk is heated to 63 degrees centigrade for 30 minutes. That is the batch method of pasteurization. But in case of buffalo milk, slightly higher side of temperature, that is 65 degrees centigrade for 30 minutes, we are advocating that helps in improving the moisture retention in the cheese. When we improve the moisture retention in cheese, at the same time we can also improving the retention of rennet and starter culture, which helps in making the cheese in faster acid development, and faster development of flavoring compounds in the buffalo milk cheese. Similarly, we can use lactose hydrolysis milk, and up to 60 to 70% hydrolysis, that is lactase in jams we can use, and up to 60%, 70% hydrolysis of buffalo milk we can use buffalo milk for the manufacture of cheddar cheese. Similarly, we can also use other technique, cheddaring, early and high piling. Similarly, halfway sorting. These are the methods. Another method of how we can actually improve the body and texture of cheddar cheese. We have already told about admixing of cow milk, cow skim milk, that may be used 50% buffalo milk and 50% cow milk. Similarly, you can use cow milk and goat milk, and NDRI also, they have also improved the accelerate the ripening of cheese when they use admixing of goat milk with the buffalo milk. So here we can also use, similarly, already whatever we have discussed, that is also applied in for improving the body and texture in cheddar cheese. Similarly, we can also improve the body and texture by applying addition of proteases and lipases, rich extract of lactocase. Similarly, we can use addition of starter adjunct. A starter adjunct, that is being used along with the starter culture. The culture which is used along with the starter culture is known as starter adjunct. So a starter adjunct, we can use Lactobacillus casei, Lactobacillus helveticus. They are also used for improving the body and texture of the buffalo milk and also flavor. Similarly, we can also improve the different methods by which we can actually accelerate the ripening of cheese. So this is also one of the drawbacks, that buffalo milk takes a longer duration of time to get the full flavor. So these are the different methods. Either you can adjustment, I have already discussed that adjustment of casein fat ratio, that is 0.65 to 0.7. Then we can actually improve the moisture retention. When we improve the moisture retention, definitely we can retain the half rennet, that is retain the rennet or starter culture, which is actually required for the biochemical changes in the cheese. which leads to the different flavor depending upon the method of manufacture, type of milk, and other condition of ripening. Similarly, these are the, we can also lactose hydrolyzed milk. When we use 60-70% hydrolyzed milk, then definitely we can improve the fasten the ripening of the cheddar cheese. Similarly, we can, when we apply homogenization, then definitely we can improve the moisture retention in the cheese, and we can also get the soft because homogenization also makes the cut soft. So this is also helping in moisture retention, better moisture retention in the buffalo milk. Similarly, when we heat the milk relatively at high temperature in comparison to cow milk, then definitely we can actually able to increase the moisture level. Similarly, we can also use cheese slurry of curd slurry of lactobacillus. Then definitely we can also use able to improve the improve the fasten the wrapping of the buffalo cheddar cheese. Similarly, we can also use higher temperature. We can also use lipase and protease in jams. We can also use addition of cheese slurries in the curd. So this way we can actually improve the wrapping condition of the cheese. So these are the different workers we have that have applied for the manufacture of cheese, because cow milk is only suited for the best suited for the cheddar cheese. But here in India, we are using buffalo milk also for the manufacture of cheddar cheese. So different workers, Sujak, Bulde, have already used buffalo milk for the manufacture of it, and they have made they have maintained the method of manufacture of is the totally protocol is completely different from what we applied for the raw milk. So when we use buffalo milk, then the different workers have suggested different method of manufacture or conditions to get the almost the same type of characteristics or flavor what we are getting from the buffalo milk. So these are the methods. So we have advocating the innovation in buffalo milk. Definitely, we can sterilize the milk at the ratio of 0.6% or 6.5 to 0.69. Similarly, we can also go for the relatively higher temperature of the high temperature for the buffalo milk. Similarly, we can use increased level of starter culture, because the buffering capacity of this buffalo milk retard or slow the acid development in the buffalo milk cheese curd. So we can use increased level of starter culture. Similarly, we can also supplement the starter with the starter adjunct like starter Streptococcus pyomoris or L. helveticus, Alkazai. We can use. So different. There's lower cooking temperature is also one of the way. Similarly, for flavor enhancement, we have also used L. helveticus at the rate of 0.05% along with the starter culture. We can able to get the almost full flavor in the cheese when we use buffalo milk. Similarly, different type of exogenous enzymes, they have already proven that acylase and naturase are already used in the manufacture of cheese from buffalo milk, and we are also getting the full flavor. Even at NDRI Karnal, buffalo milk is also supplemented with the goat milk, and we can able to fasten the acid development in the buffalo milk cheese. And up to 30% we are getting the full flavor in the cheese. Similarly, now we are looking for the low-fat cheese, because people are now very much health conscious, so they are required. They require low fat cheese or low calorie cheese, or you can say low calorie cheese. That's so. But we have facing the different challenges when we go for the manufacture of low fat cheese. So these are the different methods by which we can actually improve the quality of low fat cheese. So like selection of a starter culture or a starter blend. Similarly, we can reduce the rennet levels, and we can also washing the gut to remove excess lactose and lactic acid. And here we can also adjust the salt moisture levels. So here we can also use ultrafiltration. Nowadays different type of fat replacer like simplase, novelas, and microdextrins. These are being used to get the low fat cheese of which gets almost similar type of flavor or characteristics, sensory characteristics what we are getting from the full fat milk. So use of buttermilk is also one of the way by which we can also improve the quality of the low fat cheeses. Now we are talking about feta cheese because I have worked on feta cheese. So feta cheese is actually semi soft and white brand cheese, and they are actually very rich in protein and calcium. And so far as flavor is concerned, that is slight acidic and salty. It has firm and creamy texture, and it's highly sliceable because it is used preferably in the utilization in salad dressing, or you can use it in other way also. Feta cheese, we already know that that is manufactured from sheep milk, and later on, goat milk is also allowed up to 30% for utilization of from our manufacture of feta cheese. So, but demand of the feta cheese is actually not fulfilled because total production of sheep milk is just less than 1%. So that is actually not meet the requirement of feta cheese. So, so European Union has developed the technique for the manufacture of feta cheese from buffalo milk, and but one of the typical characteristics of this cheese is actually white in color. So generally, cow milk has to be bleached to get the desired white color. So when we bleach the cow milk, then we are actually destroying the valuable beta carotene. This is the drawback of the cow milk. So we have focused on development of feta cheese from buffalo milk using microbial lineage. We have also used microbial lineage, and this product is excellent for the vegetarians, and technology can be adopted for by cheese manufacture, and buffalo milk can be judicially utilized because buffalo milk is very chalky white in color, so there is no need of any bleaching in case of buffalo milk because it is naturally white in color, and which is actually preferred by the consumers. So feta cheese, that is actually all the markets of feta cheese. We actually cover Middle East market, which covered by the captured by the European Union. So because India is adjacent to Middle East, so there are several visitors when came to NDRI, they are actually advising the scientists then why you are not working on feta cheese from buffalo milk because it has great potential, export potential. So we have worked on feta cheese, and ultimately this type of feta cheese got patent by the Indian Patent Office, Government of India, and similarly, quark cheese it is also being used, and some technological innovation also being applied because quark cheese is properly belongs to Germany, and here we can modify the function characteristics of the quark cheese by using dietary fibers, or even you can use in purpose of fibrostol, and we can also have the drawback of quartz is that the shelf life of the quartz is very less. So we have actually using the quartz for shelf life improvement of the quartz because niacin and microgard both are actually when we apply it, then we can get the relatively better shelf life in the quark cheese. Similarly, we can go for the probiotic cottage cheese. So already you know that for person suffering from taking the high fat cheese, that is either cheddar or anyone, you can know that the cheddar cheese has caloric value of 400 kilocalorie per 100 gram. Whereas in case of cottage cheese, we are just caloric value is 96 kilocalorie per 100 gram. So that is why cottage cheese is designated as slim cheese. So any person who is suffering from cardiovascular diseases, obesity, or lactose intolerance, so cottage cheese or particularly probiotic cottage cheese is also very much popular or coming days. it is actually high in demands. So probiotic and lactobacillus acidophilus being used for the manufacture of probiotic cottage cheese. So animal trials have already been conducted at NDRI for reduction of cholesterol and LDL level. We have also able to integrate the HDL level, HDL cholesterol. That is the similarly we are go for process is already developed in the market. But how you can actually improve the functional characteristics of the process is that is why different type of different besides different type of emulsifier or stabilizer, we are looking for the improving the functional characteristics of the process cheeses. So that is why we are using inulin, phytosterol, or omega 3 oil, and we are making the cheese more nutritive, more valuable. So this is the distinct health benefits of this process functional cheese spreads. So we are also, you already know that cheese contains the high salt. So that high salt also always encourages for hypertension. So the case of hypertension in India, even in India, is more 1/4. Total out of total population, 1/4 population is actually suffering from hypertension. So how we can actually reduce the uh, besides osteo besides hypertension, they are also associated with the osteoporosis. That is one of the defects. You can say there is a decrease in bone density, mineral density. So when we use high salt cheese, we can may be suffering from osteoporosis. So we can reduce how we can actually reduce the when we see the guidelines, we have to only consume less than 5 gram salt per day only as per WHO. So we can see how we can already know that what is the role of salt in the cheese. That we already know that contributes to flavor, and also we check the growth of undesirable microorganisms, and we also control the various enzymatic activity that is also helped in synthesis of blood reduction cheese mixture. And so influence the texture, what is protein solubility and protein conformation. So there is a big role of salt. So we are facing challenges when we replace the NaCl by other like KCl. So when we use KCl, we are getting the unclean flavor and also metallic and bitter flavor. So in case of when we use the other substitute in case then sodium chloride, then we are getting the acid flavor and bitterness. So far as texture is concerned, we are always getting the soft, weak, and pasty body, which is not desirable by the consumers. So this is the challenges. How we can actually improve the how you can actually uh, improve the different defects of low fat cheese. So we can looking for the so we are more research is required in this of in case of development of low sodium cheese. We can use flavor enhancer along with bitter blocker. You already know flavor enhancer like hydrolyzed vegetable protein, yeast extract. They may be used to improve the flavor and also increase the saltness perceptions. Similarly, bitter blocker generally when you use KCl instead of sodium chloride, then the bitterness is one of the defect we can generally observe. So we can use bitter blocker such as amino acid like L-lysine that actually suppress the bitterness and help in to achieve maximum replacement. When we replace, what is the replacement? We can replace up to 30%, 40%. Then definitely we can check. We can actually help in reducing the cases of hypertension and osteoporosis. So low sodium cheese is actually maybe manufactured, and more research has to be required in this area. Similarly, low sodium processed cheese because processed cheese also containing more salt. So we have also looking for the development of low sodium cheese, processed cheese, because in our country 65% of total volume of cheese is being consumed as a processed cheese. Similarly, low sodium and other low sodium cheddar cheese or other cheese from buffalo milk has to be carried out. So you already know that cheese is already nutritionally rich and containing more beneficial macronutrients. Incorporation of functional ingredients helps in making the product more health promoting, and we have to emphasis on research for quality production of low fat cheese or low sodium cheese. Similarly, consumer nowadays are more looking for more healthier products, and we can industry has to also come closer for research and development, so that right product to right consumer at affordable price can be make available. So thank you very much for patience hearing.
Thank you so much, sir, for your nice and informative lecture. Now the session is open for the discussion. Participants, please ask if you have any query.
Dr. Sanju sir,
Yes, yes,
is I audible?
yes. You
Yeah,
are
yes,
audible.
sir. You are.
Audible. Yes.
Sanju Kumar sir, very much thankful I am because very detailed and thorough discussion is held here about cheese. Actually, my question is related to that nowadays, due to awareness of these consumers, this salt as well as fat replacer in cheese.
Yes, yes.
Already
This
you
is,
told that NaCl is replaced by KCl, but it has also some
yes,
limitations.
yes.
But what about fat?
That different fat replacer like Simplase, microdextrins. These
Ah,
maybe this is being used also. And Simplase is
ah.
already used, and microdextrins and Nova Dextron is also being used for manufacture of
Generally, coconut fat, this type of cannot replace vegetable fat.
what I cannot hear.
Coconut oil. Coconut
Coconut
oil is
oil,
also used nowadays as a fat replacer in some product.
coconut,
Can it is possible in cheese?
no. When we use any other fat sources, then that is not comes under the category of cheese. That comes under the category of formulated foods. Because only
Okay.
milk,
That is
milk
not
solids or milk available. Even you
okay, sir. Okay,
hear
thank you.
that almond milk or even other variety of vegetable origin, you cannot tell milk. है ना? Yeah.
That is
So
simply drink.
yes. Healthy drink you can say, because Sodi sir has also campaign. You cannot tell the vegetable sources like almonds or even peanuts or कोई भी है उसका आप milk claim नहीं कर सकते.
Actually, I am also in favor of that because generally people say soya milk, but don't say it is soya milk, it is soya drink.
Yes. Soya is actually ठीक है. Some person is suffering from मान लीजिए कार्डियोवास्कुलर है तो उसमें टोफू जो है डॉक्टर लेने कहता है, क्योंकि उसमें जो मतलब कोलेस्ट्रॉल की मात्रा ज्यादा हो जाती है, तो उसके लिए है जो बहुत ज्यादा तो टोफू है. सो जनरली जस्ट लाइक चीज जैसा बनता है वो आप जानते होंगे. तो मतलब अगर हम सोया मिल्क यूज करते हैं तो चीज की तरह ही बनाएंगे तो उसको आप टोफू कहेंगे. और टोफू डॉक्टर लोग जो है
Tofu.
टोफू खाने के लिए कहते हैं. डॉक्टर को बहुत अच्छे डॉक्टर को मैं देखा रिकमेंड करते थे कि आप टोफू है सो ले सकते हैं. और इवन
But now it is a need.
डायबिटिक है या ये है तो आप चीज बनाने के केस में ही लैक्टोज चला जाता है, तो डायबिटिक पीपल भी खा
बराबर.
सकते हैं आराम से.
But it is a need of present, sir, for the
Yes.
replacement of this both fat as well as salt to
हाँ
search.
दोनों जरूरी है. ये जरूरी पार्ट
दोनों
है.
जरूरी है सर अभी क्योंकि हाँ
मैंने भी
अच्छा है
फेटा
सर ठीक है.
मैंने भी फेटा चीज में अप्लाई किया था, और वी कैन
हम्म.
रिप्लेस अप टू 20-25%. बट बियॉन्ड दैट, even up to 25%, that is very much difficult to control the tasty defects or tasty defect. So far as body is concerned, tasty or slight tasty can also you can get डिस्टिंक्ट बिटर फ्लेवर, है ना।
पेस्टी एज वेल एज आफ्टर टेस्ट इज मोर
टेस्ट भी,
हाँ
और यू कैन ऑल्सो गेटिंग द, मतलब क्या कहता है, आफ्टर टेस्ट भी करते हैं, और साथ में क्या है, तुरंत खराब हो जाएगा वो, यू कैन नॉट
मुंह में
कंट्रोल द
बिटरनेस ज्यादा रहता है उसका।
बिटरनेस भी पूरा आता है। ठीक है, मैंने बताया कि बीटर ब्लॉकर यूज कर सकते हैं, ये सब ठीक है, लेकिन इतना आसान नहीं है वो।
बराबर है, ठीक है सर।
थैंक यू।
ओके, थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू
कहाँ से
मच।
आप, राजेश्वर जी कहाँ से हैं?